Hi, I'm Sam Goodman, author of the #1 bestseller, Life's 6 Buckets, and the creator of the Fulfillment Source Code, which is a course for kids filled with stuff that we were never taught, and most adults don't even know that they're missing. Now, that has taken years to create, to design, to test and retest, constantly refining it. And it all started in one of my darkest times. Now, this was 2015, and I was in the middle of planning my daughter's 9th birthday while dealing with a business divorce and trying to recover from watching my business implode. I mean, I really needed to find something that would enable me to do well by doing good, so I wouldn't have to feel like such a failure. Like, I wanted to be able to support my family and be a great father to my daughter. The thing is, I was seeing my years of building a business from zero to a multi-million-dollar venture just evaporate. That meant I wasn't able to support my family, let alone contribute to them in any meaningful way. Now, to make matters worse, my wife was fed up with watching me work so hard for a future payday that never happened. I felt even worse about the situation because we were literally on the cusp of selling the business for millions of dollars to a major publication. I mean, at that time, I felt I couldn't do anything right. Now, added to this was a fear. See, I felt dread because my father passed away when I was 17. Sudden heart attack, boom, gone. And it weighed on me because you never know when our time is up. And those golden years, right, when your kids actually want to spend time with you, it's precious and it's so limited. I mean, once puberty hits, that's a game changer. And I really wanted my daughter to be as prepared as I could because you just never know. Now, the problem was that on the one side, the freedom that I was working so hard for was taken away from me because the person I was interfacing with the buyer simply wasn't experienced enough and had a breakdown, which meant everything that we'd worked for basically gone within 48 hours, which completely destroyed the family nest egg and crushed our plans to move. Now, on the other hand was doubt. I must have missed that class where they explained parenting because, I mean, I'd read some books, but there was no guarantee and there was no question that the education system that I grew up with teaches students to become workers. It doesn't teach us the skills that we need to become our best selves. Then during this time, as if by chance, something amazing happened. So there I was, diligently planning my daughter's 9th birthday, and I was watching some videos, but these were TED Talks, right, from some of the world's brightest minds about the brain, the mind, and the body. I mean, it's stuff that I wish I knew when I was 10, but I don't even think existed then. I mean, essentially, they were the fundamental whys, right? These are things that I could do, or you could, anyone could do to increase our chances of living better. And suddenly, it was crystal clear to me that my daughter didn't have to go through the same misguided education system that we all went through because the knowledge is out there that we humans truly need to live a fulfilled life. I mean, I had to learn the hard way that even by doing everything that we were told we should do, throughout school and growing up, it simply wasn't the full picture. Now, we need to know why the brain is the way it is and how the mind works, and how the body, it's not simply there to carry your brain around, but instead all of these, it's an amazing interconnected system. And so I started curating content from the world's brightest minds, the best professors and scientists. And then after I did that, I started researching the crap out of discovering ways to present that information so kids could and would enjoy interacting with and absorbing this super amazing content. And then I found suddenly I was having fun being an interactive storyteller with my daughter. I wasn't lecturing. And that's when I realized that the secret to being a great dad and recovering from watching my business implode had nothing to do with what we were taught in school. And so I came up with a plan. I was going to teach these secrets and these real life skills to my daughter's class as an interactive adventure. And so I began working with game developers and my daughter's incredible teachers, but we didn't stop there. We then presented this concept to the principal and refined the idea even more so that I could get permission from the parents. So after that, we spent months integrating this content and sculpting it into an organized, interconnected adventure. But there was still a problem. You see, information can't simply come out of nowhere. It has to be connected to something that a child already knows, and then you kind of build from there. Content alone, it represents an incredibly small percentage of whether it actually sticks. I mean, how much high school test material have you forgotten? Me, a ton. So in addition to weaving the latest in neurology, biology, psychology, nutrition, and genetics into a fun, interconnected adventure for kids, we also had to figure out a way to increase the chances that any kid wanted to learn this information and saw how awesome, applicable, and useful it was for their lives. I mean, this took some time and many redos. So when we were finally done, the first time that we gave the course, it was amazing. The kids loved it and the parents wanted it for themselves. And then after teaching the course a few more times, we realized that me teaching the course face-to-face, it simply was not scalable, and every kid deserves to lead a fulfilled life. Now, I knew I couldn't do this alone, so we ended up engaging with passionate teachers worldwide to create a course that makes it easy for parents to have fun with their kids while co-discovering these amazing secrets for humans together. Now, we chose to call it the Fulfillment Source Code. Now, we thought if we could create something that would make it possible to help parents build deeper, stronger relationships while becoming even more awesome parents as they empower their kids with the real life skills to becoming their best selves, skills that we weren't taught and had no idea that we were even missing, well, if we could do that, we'd be really happy. So after months of writing and rewriting, testing the delivery over and over again until we saw that spark of understanding, we created the digital version of the Fulfillment Source Code. So that is how all of this started. Now, I can now share these secrets and these real life skills that most adults don't know with 10-year-olds that not only get it, but actually enjoy learning it. Now, when we started to let other parents of tweens use the Fulfillment Source Code, we were able to achieve the following. So in the past 2 years, we have taken the most cutting-edge evidence-based science and have turned it into an adventure that equips kids with the fundamental whys humans need to lead a fulfilled life. And with this foundation, they can also see how their lives are impacted to know how to learn better and learn faster. That what actions that they can take to increase their chances of having a great day, and then which actions to avoid so they can decrease having a bad day. They now know how to recognize within themselves when they're most sensitive to getting upset and how to deal with stress, and then of course, how to get back on track faster. Now, kids discover how to increase their focus and how to positively deal with the challenges that life brings. Now, in fact, we've got parents from many different cultural backgrounds that have been thrilled with the results and have asked for the course to be set up for them. Now, after creating the Fulfillment Source Code, I was not only able to have a great relationship with my daughter while preparing her for the future, I set up a nonprofit. And now I get to do good by doing, I set up a nonprofit and I get to do well by doing good. Now, I've also been able to stop worrying if my child is going to be able to handle whatever the future may bring, because we can now have meaningful conversations, right? We use a shared vocabulary that neither of us has imposed, but we've rather co-discovered. And in the end, all of this means I'm now able to feel better about myself as a parent, because going through this adventure together, I've developed a stronger, deeper relationship with my daughter. Thank you.